it says. This is the Border Museum Schifflersgrund Memorial and Learning Place at the former inner German border. So, as you all know, it has been since 1989 that the Germans were separated from one another. And I wonder where I'm driving right now. If one could freely travel when there still was the Iron Curtain. Now I do see something there on the other side, so once we'll get out I will show you more. But the interesting thing is, you could consider this like the North Korea of Europe or the North Korea of Germany, because it was a very strict country. I've spoken to some people who lived in former East Germany, and you know, it's not something they like to be reminded of, but okay, it's the way it is, it's the way it was. So here we are at the Border Museum. We'll get out and we'll check back with you for more information once available. So here you have these old-fashioned border marker. So we're right at the border with former East Germany. It's kind of strange how one could split up the people into same thing like I mentioned before, between North and South Korea. I mean, how can you create two people of one? I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. So as you see over here, I think I'm still walking right now in, and excuse me, it's a little bit windy. I'm still walking in West Germany, let's say. If we go back in time, we go back to 1889. And as you can see, this was the old fence. And if the border goes through here, it means I'm split, as the Germans were back up to 1989. My right foot in the east, my left foot in the west. So as you can see, this is where we are, and this is the old border. So where it says Hessen, it's, let's say, former Western Germany, and Thüringen, it's like former Eastern Germany. So as you can see over there, what I was showing you, that was former Eastern German territory. And now we will look over here. And as you can see, number 3, it was the border marker, although I didn't see any DDR signature or whatever on there. Once again, unbelievable. So this is what it looked like looking from, let's say, the free west. And now let's turn. Okay, I understand this is a reconstruction, but you can imagine what it must have looked like. I mean, this is crazy. So looking from a forbidden country, or looking, let's say, into a forbidden zone. Unbelievable. Which, what we just saw, is former East Germany. And if there wouldn't have been a border, now you pass from communist into the capitalistic free world of former West Germany. In other words, freedom versus. So here we have a police car. It's called a Wartburg. I think this is like a East German built car. It says People's Police, you know, like People's Republic, and so forth and so forth. So let's have a look. Really high tech for the time, as you can see. The funny thing is that it has a German sticker on it instead of a DDR sticker. And of course, we have a helicopter over here. You want to say hi to the pilot? Say hi. This place is called Platz der Wiedervereinigung. This is the place or the square for reunification. I think it was a great thing to do. So the building that we are in right now is in the former Eastern Germany. I've just asked. Here you can see how it used to look like in the old days. And what you see over here, they're still outside. It's still there. Very interesting. As you can see, it still does exist, although this is in 2003, but it still exists. It's just unbelievable. And this is information on the minefields. How people were trying to escape. As you can see, communist backward technology. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let's go outside. So I have asked, and what the guy at the ticket booth told me is that there's still people from former East Germany who would like to switch back to the old days. They're communist or DDR diehards, and like the Stasi guys that don't regret what they ever did. It's just unbelievable. All right, so we're outside. What do we have here? This is an old American vehicle dated back to 1944 when the Americans came and liberated. And here you have a typical Russian tank. So the other one is a half-track, that's what it's called, and this is I'm not sure which tank this is, but I'm sure we'll be able to read it somewhere. And here we have a Russian helicopter. This is the gunner deck. And there must be the cockpit. Let's have a look. Let's go closer. Here we have a typical Russian truck, although as you can see it's the East German flag. Well, of course it was Russian. And again another Russian vehicle. And this is a very nice, this is an Ural. Looks like it's a radar station. So I think if you would like to see some of this stuff still alive, you might want to visit North Korea. Here we have another helicopter. Let's have a look. With a typical blue, greenish, or let's say aqua dashboard panel. And it says it's also a smaller Russian transport helicopter. So let's have a look. What do we have here? This is the Mi-8. It's an old Russian helicopter. A transport helicopter. Unfortunately, we cannot enter the cockpit, but I can enter my camera. Let's have a look. Everything is in Russian as expected. Okay. I think these were the types that were also used in Afghanistan for transport. So this is the cockpit. And this is the helicopter. And again, as you can see, Eastern German emblem. Yes. And this is American technology. Also a helicopter. It's the Bell UH-1. And this was from the Western German Border Patrol. And this was also Western German Border Patrol, like a smaller one. I think it takes up to 5 people though. So this is basically a reconstruction of what the border looked like. Actually, I shouldn't call it a border, I mean, call it separation. Alright, so, and then let me see. So you could peek through these holes. Okay. Then you could open them. And you could easily shoot somebody trying to flee into freedom. I will go inside, although I'm not allowed to go up, which doesn't make a difference. Let's have a look. Now I'm using a 3-meter long stick. So let's go up and have a look. Here's some information about the different variants. Just incredible. I think they're also using German Shepherds, but I think this must have been an East German Shepherd. And this was the Deutsche Demokratische Republik. And then, of course, what is this? Oh, this is the way you could climb the fence. All right, interesting. And I think this is like a detonator or an alarm system. And these were the West Germans. All right, so this is like a little miniature of the area. So this is former East Germany. And then you can see how paranoid they were. How they built this border, like with a double fence. Just unbelievable, a double fence. And the funny thing is, it was called German Democratic. I don't know what about democratic, because people didn't have a chance to choose freedom. I mean, imagine you just walk, you say, hey, enjoy your socialism or communism, whatever. I'm going to live in the West. I want to be rich and a capitalist. I'm going to spend some money. And that's it. And you're free. So what you see here, these concrete plates, this is original, former Eastern German, control freak roads, what you call it. Should you ever come here, this is the office or the ticket office, and this is former East Germany. So we're following these trails or tank tracks, whatever you call it. So this is what it must have looked like, believing in the socialist system, protecting. But the reality is, freedom was on the other side of the fence. Let's walk down a little bit more. So this is the old border. So this is what's called the Free West, peeking into the DDR, former DDR. So, as I was told, this marker here, it was the marker for the DDR. So, this must have been the West. And from here, it was the East. However, I also understood that that little building that you see over there, that's former West Germany. Okay, so we're leaving the Border Museum and we're gonna do something which was unthinkable 40 years ago. I'm driving my car from the east to the west, and I'm driving now on the Western German border. They have these beautiful yellow fields. It's the season, it's April, so now this is still former Western Germany, and I think where there's like a red marker, yeah, I think this must be the old border. That's what I see in maps anyway. So yes, now we have entered former Eastern Germany. Sickenberg. Yeah, well, it was really sick. So let's see what we have here. I'm just wondering if one could drive around here 40 years ago. This is called Tietzenrode. Beautiful houses, by the way, just amazing. But the funny thing is that they're the same on each side. So in the west and in the east. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.